Hello friends, it's Trevor, it's Avery, it's Pat, it's the citywide special. The Sixers find themselves down 2-0 against the Knicks after a combination of blown calls and poor execution in the final seconds of Game 2 lead to a gut-wrenching loss. Can the team rebound at home and get back into the series? Is Embiid too injured? Will the role players finally step up? The NFL draft is finally upon us. Will the Eagles stay at 22? Will they move up? Will they move down? Which one of the young football players will they choose to join the team? The Phillies keep winning with a sweep over the White Sox as they embark on a long road trip starting in Cincinnati. They fail to gain ground on the Braves, however. Do the Phils have the best rotation in baseball? The Flyers conduct their end-of-season interviews. Rocky Thompson will continue to coach the dismal power play. Ivan Fedotov is signed to a 2-year extension. What else will come in the offseason? All that and more coming up right now. How's it going, fellas?
Again, good to be back. It's a nice, actually, for a change, a lovely day in Philadelphia weather-wise, which is nice.
It's pretty nice.
Feel like as though spring is. Damn, I'm fucked up. Spring is finally upon us. But all in all, pretty good. Just came back from a good old work event. I am Phenom. Shout out Phenom, my employer.
Yeah, shout out Phenom.
But
love
my
Phenom.
Nieces as well. Mila and Lexi just turned 9 today. Big.
Oh, shout out your nieces.
Big day, I will say. In the Mazik household, you don't realize how much time passed when you're buying gifts for your nieces and nephews. You're buying them toys and stuff like that, Legos and shit like that. We had some gifts put aside in our head of all right, we're gonna get this for them. Then I saw their list, and my sister-in-law was like, "Oh, they have an Amazon list." I'm like, "Oh, I'll check it out. Maybe we're on par with that." It's like guitars, it's skin cream. I'm like, "Oh, they're all right. They're
growing up.
Yeah, I'm like, "Oh, this is
yet.
nuts." Yeah, it's crazy. So it's a funny thing, but yeah, great day to be a Wednesday. It is Wednesday.
Yeah,
And,
Wednesday. Yes.
Yeah, man, can't complain.
Yeah, we're recording on a Wednesday because tomorrow's a big day. We got Sixers Knicks Game 3. We got the NFL draft.
Yep.
So yeah, we figure we'll get this in on a Wednesday. We'll talk some shit. We'll hang out. Phillies are playing the Cincinnati Reds right now. I dare say I might have to move to Cincinnati instead of Cleveland. I've been looking at the wrong Ohio City the whole time, dude. Get this, right? So here's the deal. The Reds have this special where you can do every Tuesday at home. It's a $3 12-ounce beer, a $2 hot dog, and a $1 cup of ice cream. You're telling me I can spend $6 and get a beer, a hot dog, and an ice cream every Tuesday?
That ain't bad.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And
that costs you at least $20
in this economy. That ain't bad.
That's what's up, right? And then get this.
Deals.
Real estate in Cincinnati, even better than Cleveland. Yo, look at this. So in Cincinnati, a 3-bedroom, 3-bath house on Zillow, 1,548 square feet, $194K.
Damn.
In Philly, that house is like $700,000, dude.
Yeah. Well,
what about this? Hold up.
Yeah, but what else is around?
The catch is you have to live in Cincinnati.
Right.
No, Cincinnati's probably.
I mean,
yo,
at some point, those Tuesday night deals are gonna start to get old, and
those hot dogs and ice cream are gonna catch up real fast.
Whatever. I'll be living cheap and free.
Yeah.
Or not quite free, but cheaply, frugally, and still having the time of my life. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1,344 square feet for $140K. Are you serious? That's dope, dude.
The visiting locker room of the Link is 1,500 feet.
That's pretty good. That's a lot bigger than mine. That's almost twice the size of my
hang
little
up a lot of
South Philly.
jerseys and pads in that house.
It's all flat though. You don't have multi-level floors. But
Yeah, this one has a garage too and a driveway.
Damn.
Yeah, so Cincinnati.
the driveway is a good. Is a big.
It probably has a nice little yard too.
Little basketball hoop there,
Yeah, let's see if we got. Oh, that bathroom's ugly. The basement's dope though.
Then you got to worry about people parking in your driveway and shit.
Oh, it's got a nice yard.
Put those nails down.
It's got a yard with a hill. That's dope, dude. But anyway,
so you have to cut that shit with a lawnmower.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I don't have to worry about any
Cut
grass
that
in
shit uphill.
Philly. That's a good point. But anyway, Cincinnati's looking better and better.
I don't know,
Cleveland.
man. You love Ohio.
The funny thing is,
You're a hoe for Ohio.
I used to always hate Ohio. Like I've driven through it so many times.
Yeah, check out Columbus next.
College town. I don't want to deal with all that. I'm too old for that.
Become a Blue Jackets fan.
Ugh.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Tuesday
anyway.
was election day. Did you guys participate in democracy?
I had no idea.
Did you?
I voted.
I didn't even know.
I voted.
Why didn't anyone remind me?
I don't know.
Are you kidding me?
I kind of forgot too, and I was like, oh shit,
multiple
that's
text left and right.
I
about
always
this
just
shit?
tell all those texts to stop as soon as I see them.
Yeah.
Because I get blown up like
See, but it's
I had
twice
to-
a day.
it's
I had
because
to-
you text back. That's why they keep texting you. You just gotta just delete it. Don't respond. Just delete it.
Now, when I say stop, they stop. That's why I didn't
Yeah.
know it was election day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I had to show up and show my support for Bizzarro. Did you guys see
Yeah,
that guy's
Erie,
signs in
baby.
Erie? Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember seeing
Oh,
those
yeah,
signs in Erie.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, that guy's got a funny name.
He was up for election?
He was running for treasurer. He's like the state rep from Erie, but he did lose to some
Oh,
other woman.
yeah.
Yeah. So R.I.P. Bizarro. I don't know anything about him. He could be a horrible person for all I know.
Probably is.
I have
to
no
be
idea.
honest. Yeah.
I mean, I guess it was. Yeah, I don't know. It was the Democratic primary, so I mean, he could still be really bad. I have no idea. In any case, I guess he'll just remain representing the good people of Erie and will not be the state treasurer.
This is their
What
moment
does even the treasurer do? Honestly, I mean,
of PA.
Something with money.
handle the money,
Well, 95. I mean, that
find
was the big
ways to
time
embezzle
shine.
the money,
Yeah,
and
they just used up all of PA's federal funding. But then they tap in the federal government, so I don't know what they actually do in
yeah.
terms of
Well, the
funding
feds are the
for
reason
that.
why the 95 got fixed so fast because they
Right, so like,
stepped
what
in
does
and-
the treasurer's like? Oh, I'll help out. They're like, we got it. Settle
Maybe the
down.
treasurer
Like this-
works on like little local things because 95 is like the 95 corridor
Well, it needed to be
connects
fixed,
a lot
yeah.
of states. The feds got involved.
Yeah.
But
Also, they were like, we can't have our treasurer, the guy handling money, his last name be Bizzarro.
Bizzarro.
Like,
Yeah,
this
who's
is
gonna
a bad
trust him?
look. It's just a bad look.
It's like, yeah, he sold off all of our state funds and converted them to Bitcoin.
Yeah. He's a big
it's
crypto
Bizzarro
guy.
World, baby.
What's
He's a
his
big
first
crypto
name?
guy.
Up is down, right is left, black is white.
What's Bizzarro's first
I
name?
don't know.
It sounds like a Jeff to me.
Yeah.
Bizarro PA.
His name Doctor
Yeah.
Bizzarro. It's like fucking Superman
It's
villain.
Bizzarro. What the fuck?
Bizarro, Erie, Pennsylvania. Let's see. What is
We
this?
did see those signs though for that. I thought it was like an irrelevant. I thought it was like
Oh,
Yeah, I
local
thought it was a
government.
local thing.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't think it was an actual like state rep kind of
It's just
thing.
Ryan. That's boring.
Ryan Bizzarro.
Yeah, lame.
Yeah, that's why he lost. Should have changed his first name to something cooler and more catchy.
Yeah, he's not much older than us. He was born in 85.
Oh shit! So he's
Bozo
only
Bizzarro.
He's probably kind of cool then. It's like, I shouldn't say that.
Not
just
cool
'cause
enough
he's
to
young.
win.
Yeah.
He probably drinking his sorrows away at the fucking
Could be the
tiki
coolest,
bar.
Yo,
the
he's
coolest
probably-
loser.
Dude,
Yeah,
he's probably at the zone.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
He's probably there ripping
Yeah.
cigs at the zone, doing
Yeah.
karaoke.
That was probably where the victory party would have been.
Should've
They're
been.
all hanging out
Yeah.
there, but
Or
if
either
you
that or
lose, at
Plymouth.
least you can have a good time.
Yeah.
Yep.
At least they stay open past 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
I feel like we were there pretty late.
Well, yeah, that's why we
didn't
went
leave
there, is
till,
because
like,
they were the
till
only
3.
bar that was open late
Yeah.
on a
they-
Monday night in Erie.
Yeah, I think, like, I remember I didn't get back to the Airbnb till like 3 a.m. after
Drinking,
3.
dancing, smoking. That was a good time.
Yeah, that was a great
I
time.
was dancing my little ass off.
Yeah, speaking of the world of politics, did you guys see Biden fucking reading the teleprompter? This is like so fucking funny.
No.
Mm-mm.
I think this maybe was like today, but
Imagine what we can do next. 4 more years. Pause.
Did he say pause?
yeah, he says pause because that's what it said on the teleprompter.
It's
Dude.
like when someone's like, "Yeah, man, they had a great D." Pause.
This country's fucked, man.
Oh,
We're
good
doomed.
Lord.
4
So
more years.
fucking
It's like,
doomed.
wait, pause. I don't have that in me, but
This is
wait.
this is the man standing between us and American fascism.
He's got it. Though.
doddering old
He's got some
man.
juice in him. He's got that. He's got
Yeah,
that
they just
good,
gotta pump him full of whatever they give him when he does the State of the Union. You know, like he'll be kind of cool for an hour,
Yeah,
and then he probably just collapses as soon as the cameras turn off.
I'm
He
okay
just-
with that.
Yeah,
I'd rather take this than someone that's going to go crazy on. You know what I mean? I'm
yeah.
cool with that.
What do
I
you
mean,
think-
hey, if Embiid can still put up 30 points with his fucking torn
least-
up ass, then Biden can
At least Biden
work his
can-
way through an election cycle. You
At
know?
least Buddy can blink with both his eyes, and Bede's out here looking like the fucking,
Yeah.
looks like the mountain on Game of Thrones when they revive his ass. Like
Yeah,
when
that's
he's
such
dead.
a mystery, too. Like,
Well, he got poked twice in Game
but they
One.
aren't
they won't
acknowledging
say-
it at all.
Yeah, they
No.
won't say what happened. He's just wearing sunglasses inside.
Or then conducting an interview like, oh, like this. Like,
Also, he didn't really blink at that until he hurt his
He was-
knee.
yeah,
in the
he was
second
only
yeah,
quarter.
blink-
when he hurt his knee, it was so funny.
He
Like,
was
you
laying on
could
the
see him
ground.
just staring up, like,
And only one eye was going
Winking.
nuts. I said,
He was only like blinking with one eye, so they must just be putting eye drops in his eyes every time there's a
only
commercial
the one?
break or something.
Because the other
I
one
don't-
hasn't moved. It's like you got
It doesn't even blink.
Silence of the Lambs where one doesn't blink.
So
and
is
then
he
you
just
have, like,
sleeping with one eye open?
maybe
Sleep with one eye open.
I mean, I guess when you're Embiid, you might have to anyway.
or a
You
mask,
got some
maybe
haters.
like a little night mask. Like
Yeah,
a little-
maybe he rocks a sleep mask.
Yeah,
Yeah, I could see
I
that.
respect that. I like a sleep mask.
we know. We've seen that.
Yeah, you saw me in
Yeah,
the
we've seen that.
Airbnb. I love a
He all
sleep
snug as
mask.
a bug in a rug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't really gotten to the sleep mask, but I'm a big brown noise guy. Love that brown noise.
So what's
I
brown
don't know what
noise?
brown
How's that
noise is.
different
brown
from
noise,
white noise?
white noise. So white noise is kind of like a, whereas the brown noise is more of a. You know what I'm saying?
What the hell's the difference?
You didn't notice
You
the
didn't hear the
There's
thing?
versus. So one sounds like you're hawking a loogie, and one sounds like the wind.
A little, I don't know. I mean, it's hard
Okay.
to mimic it with myself. That's why I need the audio
actual
playing.
audio.
I can't do it by myself and fall asleep.
Never heard of the
But
brown
it-
noise like that. There's green.
I've heard there's green noise
yeah.
too.
Yeah, there's
Someone tell me about green noise. I haven't checked that out yet. There's not as many. I couldn't really find any good green noise because I just go on YouTube and just put on you'll find like 10 hours of brown
Yeah.
noise where I just put that on. But I couldn't really find a whole lot of green noise.
The green noise is like E8 now.
Just listen to that on repeat for 8 hours.
I don't know what the green noise is, but I know that
Just
there's
dream
like
about Nick Foles every night.
Big Dick Nick.
Yeah.
Big Dick Nick.
Yeah.
Damn. But let's
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
get
What do you
into
wanna
it.
get into
Let's
first
get
here?
Get into the Sixers.
Oh, yeah.
We got to
the-
lead
the
off
to-
with this.
The hot topic of the week.
I could have thrown up that night.
Yeah, that was.
To be honest, I really could have thrown up that whole night. I felt like we were in a good spot. We had a 6 to 7 point lead. Really, the whole entire
when you're up
game.
5 with 40 seconds left, you're typically feeling pretty good about that.
But even the whole game, I feel like game one, but like we were up for a little bit in the first quarter.
They started both these games very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they looked the best they looked in the playoffs in a while in this second game. I felt like, wow, they're in control. Even when they gave up some points, they still looked like they knew what they were doing. Third quarter, they lost the lead. They gained it back. I'm like, okay. And then they held on to the lead again, which felt great. I mean, possession of the lead was damn near 35 minutes to 10, which was great. But that last
47. It was
it was
47
just-
seconds.
it was nuts. It was it's just disheartening, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, going back to game one, in some ways they deserve to lose. Like, you gave up 23 offensive rebounds. You got a total out rebounded 20 by 22 rebounds. You're not going to win like that, even if you do hold Brunson to whatever he was, 7 for 26.
And Embiid goes out for about a half of a.
It was
A
when
quarter.
Embiid went out
Yeah.
after.
Yeah.
Well, we got to talk about that dunk, actually, because that was wild,
It
dude.
was crazy.
Like, granted, it probably wasn't the
Not worth
smartest
the
thing
price,
for him to
but
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, for him to do that in, like, the middle of a tight playoff game, to just bounce it off the backboard to himself and just dunk on two dudes, epic.
Yeah.
But yeah, as soon as he comes out of the game in game one to go back to the locker room
Whole
for
different
whatever,
swing.
that was when the Knicks went on, like, they scored like 12 points in 3
Yeah.
minutes. And that was the game. Like, the Sixers scored 12 points total in that second quarter.
And one of the frustrating things too is about this series is that you have a team that we're just now gelling as a team in terms of knowing how to play with each other, which is great. They've came into this playoff series 8 of maybe 9 of 10 or 10 of 10, whatever it was they were winning at, and it was great. But I feel like they're not respecting the camaraderie of this Villanova core that they have at the Knicks, because they're letting guys wide open at the top of the key or anywhere really in the 3-point range that have made their bread and butter and have kind of shipped their ticket into the NBA based off of their clutch moment threes. Whether it's Hart, DiVincenzo, I mean, you name it on that roster, it's head-scratching to me that they don't have anybody playing any kind of defense when someone's about to shoot a three that's from that school. It makes no sense.
So I think the Josh Hart thing, like, I've seen a lot of debate about this. The Josh Hart thing I kind of get. Like, game one, he makes his first three. I'm like, yeah, you'll live with that shot. Then he bricks a bunch. I'm like, that's why you'll live with it. And then he just happened to make a bunch at the end of the game. Like, I think for the season, he's like a 30% three-point shooter. So they're kind of playing the odds. And
I'm not saying that all game you have to put a man on him, but I feel like crunch time, fourth quarter, when the game's within 4 to 5, where it's all a matter of who gets a bucket or not, you can't just leave anybody wide open on that
you can't leave DiVincenzo open.
No,
or
even Hart. I'm not gonna lie though. Like, he had 6 to almost 9 points in the fourth quarter in the first game.
He has 4 threes in each game.
But
so
wide open looks. Give at least a contested shot though. I mean, there were so many shots he took in that fourth quarter of the first game that were just wide open looks.
Which I think was by design.
But you can't. Yeah, but you can't have that though. And this team will prove to you that you can't leave anybody wide open in crunch time minutes to shoot a 3 like that.
Well, I think
because we don't have an answer for that.
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. We don't have an answer for it because our role players have been ass, dude. So, like, get this: bench points for the series, the Knicks have outscored us 58-17.
Yeah, it's pathetic.
Yeah. That's horrible.
So much for this is the deepest team we've had around Embiid.
Oh God,
yeah.
Yo, my boy Deuce McBride. He had 21 points.
Yeah.
Now y'all know who Deuce McBride is.
I know he is now.
Last week you're like, who is that? He owned us. I'm like, yeah, their bench is showing up. So yeah, I think if the Sixers were getting the offensive contributions they've gotten all season from Kelly, from Buddy to an extent, if they were using campaign at all, shit, even if Tobias was doing anything offensively, we probably wouldn't make such a big deal about Josh Hart going off, but it's just when you look at him compared to our role players, it's no contest.
They're just playing too much defense from the Sixers side. Like Buddy Hield might as well.
They should just.
Dude, he's been atrocious.
I mean, he hasn't been anywhere.
You got one job, dude, and he's not even shooting the ball. I mean, it's not even that he's just bricking a bunch. He's just like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's a combination of them just not. It feels like every time we get the ball to someone on the wing, there's someone in their face right away.
Yeah.
And they're just not comfortable shooting those contested shots. And yeah, I mean, Buddy just looks awful. I mean, I feel I've never been more wrong about a player. I was excited when we got him. He looked good.
The first few
episodes, games, he looked really good. And towards the end of the season, he started dropping off, and that's continued into the playoffs, unfortunately. So I don't know how you can keep running him out there. I mean, campaign doesn't exactly thrill you.
He wasn't even there at all for the second game, pretty much.
Yeah, he.
I don't think at all.
Yeah,
really.
I don't think he's really played. And you know, I mean, I'm willing to throw him in there. He's definitely more of a liability defensively. And I'm also not, you know, he's a decent shooter, but he also kind of takes a year to get a shot off. So, like, I don't know, these guys getting right in their face right away, I don't know if he's going to be able to do any better than anybody else.
He's at least fast enough to beat a closeout, though. Like, Buddy's kind of slow. Like, if Buddy beats a closeout, he's going to get to the rim and smoke a layup. We've seen that in both these games.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Whereas Campaign can at least finish. But yeah, to your point, Campaign's going to get abused on defense, but at the same time, like, the defense isn't really the problem. Like, you can hide some of his deficiencies with, like,
second
Embiid
game
and
was arguably our best defensive game we've had with this whole, full Sixers set. But the problem is, like, they're playing such aggressive defense the whole game that they just all look gassed by the fourth quarter. Granted, Maxey was sick, or he was one win away from having a tremendous flu game, but they lost, so it's overlooked and no one cares. But to have 35-plus points in a game where he felt like shit and looked like shit is remarkable. To start the game off 3 for 3 from 3.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible what he can do. We can get to the whole referee thing at the end, but I don't think it bodes well when the team is not fully healthy. Your first game in between playing a pretty weak end of schedule to get to the playoffs is the Miami Heat against that crazy ass zone and scatterbrain just team as itself. And then have to play a Knicks team they're playing football, we're playing basketball. Like they were, whether or not the refs are calling shit or not, first game I think was pretty evenly called. I think it was both.
It was better.
They were letting them play.
Yeah,
there were some calls that they were letting fourth quarter. They were playing pretty aggressive ball both ways. It was no big deal. Second game, you can definitely have multiple calls that were just no call, terrible call. I don't know what they were seeing that we weren't, but it was pretty bad from a referee point. But I think as a Sixers team to be not 100% Embiid, Maxey's pretty sick. The team hasn't gelled a whole lot. You're not getting as much of an output from the guys that you brought in here that you would expect. It's tough to win that way in New York.
Yeah.
Who's high as a kite right now on just being in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And healthy.
Yeah.
And have a connected ability with the whole Villanova gang. I mean, you got 3 guys that played in college. Now they're all on the same NBA team. You can't beat that You can't beat that.
Yeah, and it's frustrating too because as much as, obviously Embiid is far from 100% and, Maxey was sick or whatever, despite all that, they've still been the two best players on the court in both of these games, and we still have not won. That's what's really frustrating.
And Embiid's somehow still gotten better, even though he's not 100%. That second game, he played his fucking ass off and looked amazing.
Yeah.
35, 38 points, Maxey 38 points. I mean,
yeah,
they're doing all they can.
Or 33 or
but
something.
there's no Batum game. There's no Buddy Hield game. There's no campaign. Tobias. Even no one's getting you more than 12 points. And you can't beat a team that's playing aggressive defense without anybody giving you more than 15. You need someone that gets you 25 and 10.
Yeah.
And no one's giving you that extra oomph at all.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, you brought up a good point when you said they're playing football, we're playing basketball. And this is kind of why, like I said last week, I don't really like this matchup. Because, I've, known that this is a physical team, an athletic team, a tough team, and they'll have that crowd behind them, that New York crowd.
Yeah.
Give New York a lot of shit. That crowd's been turned up. They've been really energetic. They've been really good. And, the Sixers haven't really been able to compete with them from a physicality standpoint. Like, the Sixers, outside of Embiid, who's banged up right now, are kind of a finesse team. And Embiid's so banged up, he can't even be the physical force that we're used to him being.
No.
Just not a good matchup. But with all of that being said, the Sixers have the two best players in the series by a mile. It's just, can anyone give them anything? And jury's out. It's always said that in the playoffs, role players tend to play better at home, which is why you've seen guys like McBride and Hart and Hartenstein step up. So now maybe we'll get some of that to roll our way when we get back to Philly.
Maybe Batum will show up again.
Yeah.
I just also feel like and I hate, again, to bring the refs into this, but we really are probably the closest series we've seen in a while where we really are one call away from winning that game.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, especially with the way that game ended, I mean, there's, I definitely am generally agree with the philosophy of, don't be a ref guy. Don't blame the refs. We had plenty of opportunities to put that game away and didn't do it, this and that. But also, I mean, you just cannot talk about that game without talking about the refereeing. That's a very big part of the story there.
In the last 20 fucking seconds, too, it's such a crucial moment in the game where it's Maxey has the ball rolling around the floor. You can see, what's his name, calling a timeout, and you see him waving him off.
Yeah.
Nothing. It's unreal. It's that's what sucked even more is that
and then Maxey got fouled at least once or twice.
Well,
I mean, there's the obvious jersey pull.
So here's the thing. The refs did not help us. But the Sixers didn't help themselves. Think about Maxey gets that one ball on a fast break, dribbles it off his knee. It's a turnover.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Lowry misses 2 free throws in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
Embiid misses
a couple.
Embiid misses a bunch early in the game.
That's been one of our strengths all year. We've been an excellent free throw shooting team and just didn't have it.
I also think too that before that transition where we were up by 5, right? They got the ball back first, right? They put it in, and there was only 25 seconds left. Brunson got the ball in and ran all the way up the court with no defense on him. That was when I first was they're not
you probably wanted to
you should have had some press on everybody in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And they didn't. They let them go right up the court. They got a free open shot, which they missed, and that's when Maxey got that. And then there was no timeout, and then the clock wound down, all that shit. But had they had at least half the people up the court to at least block Brunson or make that pass in a little bit more difficult, maybe force a 5-second foul shot, could have been something. We were already in the bonus too. Could have been different. But they let him get the ball in.
That's
and
what I'm
they ran up,
saying.
took a free shot. So even before that Maxey maybe possession or whatnot, we just already got lazy.
Yeah, we can only blame the refs so much.
Also, at the end there on that, the infamous inbound play, Kyle Lowry should have been calling a timeout.
Exactly.
I mean, you could say, obviously, they should have given that to Nick Nurse, but if the guy inbounding the ball is calling a timeout, you can't ignore that. And he should have done that.
And it's not like he's a
rookie.
He's
a veteran.
He's a 19-year vet.
Yeah, he should know.
Come on, he's been playing basketball half his life.
Yeah.
Legitimately half his life. He has to know better in that situation to call a timeout.
I will say that he did play. I mean,
he played a great game.
He played phenomenally. I'm not gonna lie. He's been a tremendous asset in the playoffs because you see it.
He's been a dog.
Just in that grit aspect of, and no knock on Pat Bev, but I think this is what people expected that Pat Bev would do, and Pat Bev gave you enough of a grit here and there, but nothing like Lowry. I mean, Lowry's just diving on the ball. He's like playing volleyball out there. He's diving. He's getting balls. He's doing all kind of crazy shit, crazy passes, trying to get that foul, but then dishing it back out. I mean, he's tremendous on the court. And we haven't had a guy like that in forever, to be honest. We thought PJ Tucker would be that guy. We thought Bev would be that guy. But Lowry's been a true Cornell Doherty, North Philly kind of guy that plays hard.
Yeah, he's been a great leader. He's been a great floor general. Just, you wish he would have called timeout in that instance.
Well, yeah.
It's just the only thing. But
then after that, fucking Maxey goes up for a layup that he makes 99 out of 100 times. It gets blocked by Hartenstein, which that was just a good
had
block.
A crazy fucking game.
Yeah,
though.
he was
killing us.
But hey, you come home, you have to get the first.
What I want to see,
though, I know they can win both. I mean, this team has proven that we can beat the Knicks. They're not out. They're not. It's not far fetched to say that we could turn this series around and win it. However, I want to see the first game back in Philly. You got to dominate.
Yeah.
Like you can't have the team win on another weird call if we win and have it be like, well, the refs had, in favor of the Sixers. I want the Sixers to come out here and actually play great basketball, get some fucking boards, beat the shit out of them, and win the game by like 20 points, which would be great.
Yeah.
Second game, you can win it by 5. Have it be a close game, no big deal. Fourth quarter, 20 seconds left, you pull it out, no big deal. But the first game in Philly, after Embiid said we're down by 2, but we're going to win this series, you have to come out here then after a 2-day break, maybe 3-day break at this point, 2-day, and really dominate that game from every aspect of the game. No stupid turnovers, no fucking dropkick balls like Maxey had at the end that could have won it here and there, no missed free throws. You have to come out here and actually dominate the full aspect of the game, game 1 in Philadelphia. Because if you don't, you're done.
Yeah. I do think we're probably going to get a pretty favorable whistle tomorrow night.
Yeah, because of that grievance.
Because of all this shit.
I don't know. I really don't. I don't think so. I think that it comes down to how the team plays.
The NBA, I mean, there's definitely something to be said for the home court advantage in the playoffs. They want to keep these series going.
Philadelphia has this season been the least favorable team in the whole NBA, so it doesn't matter what.
Sure, but
even if we get half of that, we're still the least favorite. It doesn't matter what it is. But if the team comes out there and plays clean ball and can just do what we can do to control the game ourselves, they got to have a good statement game first game.
I mean, they really just need someone other than outside of Maxey and Embiid to step up a little bit.
I mean, I don't think you're going to be able to rely on Embiid. He can't see out of one eye. Like, at the end of that game, he couldn't jump. Like, he literally couldn't jump. He could
I don't know if that
barely
one
run.
eye's seen anything.
Yeah, so,
it's not blinking.
He's playing literally on one leg and with one eye, right? Like,
it doesn't blink.
So I wouldn't
still put up over 30 points.
But you can't bank on him doing that in these home games. You just can't.
No pun intended. It's like the mountain, though. You know what I mean? You revive him a little bit. He's still a force to reckon with. And,
Yeah, he's still huge, sure.
He's got a couple days off here. I mean, not that I think that's going to all of a sudden miraculously
get what we need? Ricky Council.
Free Ricky
Council.
They need.
Free that man. We need a dog.
You got to put someone else out there.
Gave him his money.
I also will say, shout out Kelly Oubre's been.
He's been playing great D.
Been playing like a fucking absolute bulldog out there.
Him and Tobias have been really good on Brunson. They just haven't really been giving me anything offensively.
And that's
especially
okay, though.
Oubre. He just looks lost offensively.
If the team plays the way they've been playing defensively, I'm okay with having Oubre and Tobias not scoring a whole lot, but playing great lockdown D. Because they were getting called on shit that should not have been called. And
Brunson's always like that. He's annoying with that.
And Brunson hasn't really been shooting, though. But if you have Maxey and Embiid put 35 points per game.
Yeah. I mean, they've been forcing Brunson into difficult shots, which he makes sometimes because he's very good. But overall, they've done a great job on him. And it's just their role players have kind of killed us. I mean, I guess the one thing I would say that, makes me feel like we're definitely still in this, even though it sucks that we're down 2-0, is that a lot of things have had to go right for the Knicks to pull these games out. And if things kind of start to regress towards the mean and normalized, I think we should be able to start winning. But, we do need to win one in New York. That's the big thing. I think they gotta take these 2 games at home and,
and win.
They had to win. They had to win at least one in New York.
Yeah.
It's like Adrian and Rocky. Just win.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's all we need right there, baby. Ding. And then we're good to go.
So, I'm predicting Campaign gets freed. Give him some of Buddy's minutes. Campaign's going to go off for 12 points tomorrow. We'll have B-Ball Paul. He'll get some action. He'll play good. What they need to do is put B-Ball Paul and B together just to give you a little more toughness and a little more physicality, especially when Embiid can't jump.
Yeah.
Like, you need someone else out there to kind of clean up, because the Knicks don't have a lot of shooters where it's hard for B-Ball Paul to match up. Like, you could put him on Josh Hart conceivably, and he's going to hold up fine.
They're pretty good. Yeah.
Like, B-Ball Paul isn't the reason they're losing the series, even though they lose the Embiid minutes. It's everyone else on the bench that's just not doing a damn thing.
Big time.
But,
So the big question is then, who rings the bell tomorrow?
That is a good question. Yeah, first home game, first playoff game. NFL draft, so it won't be like a former Eagle. Who's in town?
Yeah, bring out Ivan Fedotov to celebrate his new deal. The guy that everyone in Philadelphia knows.
That'd be hilarious if they did that.
I mean,
the Phillies are on the road. It won't be a Philly.
I mean, we always say that whenever they bring out some really famous, well-known dude, they always kind of fuck it up. Maybe someone a little more obscure. You know,
bring out Jim Lynam, dude. Have Jim Lynam ring the bell.
Those leprechaun ass.
Yeah, he'll give us the luck of the Irish, man. Bring him out.
Yeah, just let Taryn Hatcher do it.
I think there's only two picks.
She does everything else.
She already did it once this year, though. Yeah,
there's only two picks that make sense.
Who you got?
There's only two picks that make sense right now. For the first game back in Philly, ready? You got New York coming back to Philadelphia. You have someone who got drafted by New York who was from Philadelphia, or at least PA. Saquon Barkley could be back.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That.
Yeah, I saw his name floated around.
You go back to right down to the basketball lineage of Dawn Staley coming back into Philadelphia after back-to-back championships.
If Dawn Staley rings the bell, Sixers by 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a good.
Those are the only two options. AI eventually, but I mean, how many times
done it a lot. He's done it so many fucking times. He just got honored a whole bunch like a couple weeks ago anyway.
He's at every fucking game anyway, but I think
it's only going back to
there's only two options.
Nah, Dawn Staley. I'm here for Dawn Staley.
Dawn Staley and Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley would be a little mental fuck for New York because they'll be all pissed off. Oh no, whatever. But I think Dawn Staley, if she rings the bell,
a G.
Ring a ding ding, baby, here we come. But those are my two.
All right, we'll be keeping an eye on that.
Yeah, I don't know. We got anything else to say about the
anything else written down?
The old Sixers.
I was gonna ask y'all where that Game 2 loss ranked in the 5 worst Sixers playoff losses of
it's up there.
The Embiid era.
It's at least top 3.
I mean,
it's top 3 for me.
Yeah, just the way it happened.
It's up there with the double doink against Toronto.
Yeah,
to be honest,
yeah,
because like
that and the Game 7 against the Hawks.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are my top.
Those are probably my top 3 there. I mean, you can pick and choose whichever order you want. It doesn't really matter. They're all kind of, you know.
So I did 5, right? So I did the confetti game against the Celtics. Remember where we thought we won?
Bellinelli.
His foot was on the line and went to overtime. Then we lost. That's 5. Number 4, I have Game 6 against Boston last year when we were winning most of the game.
Had a chance to put it away.
We just choked at the end. Then I have that game the other night is number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, I have the Hawks game because that Game 7 against the Hawks. It's the Hawks.
Yeah.
They've been bad ever since.
Yep.
And then you have the pass. You have Embiid turning it over in the clutch. And then obviously Game 1's the double doink. Or the quadruple doink, actually.
Yeah, quadruple doink. That one's particularly painful because I feel like they would have won the championship that year if they won that game. Because the Bucks in the next round were depleted.
The Warriors
came. And then the Warriors were, I think they could have cruised to the end there. But
but it's up there. It's
that sucked.
Yeah.
That really sucked.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not here to complain about it anymore. Like, Sixers could have helped themselves. The refs definitely didn't help anyone, but that sucked.
It's not good.
That's all I got on the Sixers.
Yeah, so where do you want to move to next
Let's
here?
talk about your boy Fedotov. You just mentioned him.
We touched on the Flyers a little bit. Fedotov, 2 years, so, they kind of, in the exit interviews, Briere sort of hinted at the fact that they were comfortable riding with Urson and Fedotov as their tandem for next year, and now that Fedotov has this new deal, that pretty much confirms that. I don't think we should expect them to acquire another goaltender or anything. They gave him a pretty good chunk of change.
Yeah, my man got paid for
For a guy who's more or less unproven in the NHL, that's a pretty nice nice deal there for him.
Which is funny for a man
good for
that
him.
His own country doesn't even accept the U.S. dollar anymore. Fucking bitch ass Russia.
So like the whole geopolitical thing had
Fucking
something to
piece
do
of
with
shit
it.
Russia.
Oh yeah, well, it seems like this was definitely a little backdoor handshake deal,
Right.
for him to convince him to void his current contract and come over here.
His own country doesn't recognize the U.S. dollar anymore.
Yeah.
Fuck
What
Russia, man.
what kind of people don't recognize the U.S. dollar?
Fuck that shit. Russia and China. Fuck them all. Fuck that shit. Especially Russia, put your bitch
Yeah,
ass.
do
I've
my-
seen your shit against
my
Ukraine.
dollars.
Fuck that shit. Yeah.
Well, but he's here now, and I'm not too worried about. I mean, that under normal circumstances, yes, that is a lot of money to give to an unproven backup goalie. But considering the fact that they're not going to be looking to make any big splashes in free agency the next 2 seasons.
Not a goalie.
Yeah. And he does still have, I mean, he's not, he's definitely not going to be like their goalie of the future or anything because of his age or whatever, but he still has a lot of upside.
We also didn't really get to see like who he had to
He
come in
played,
a
like,
shitty.
Yeah, he
2
came
games,
in.
3 games.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he came
It was
in.
like a bailout moment. Let's see what he
Right.
can do, and couldn't do
He
it.
played in
Loses,
3
okay.
games,
Yeah.
2 of which were him coming in relief. I really wouldn't put a whole lot of stock into what we saw in those games, and he was one of the best goaltenders in the KHL.
That's a low bar to clear, though. Apparently, like I was reading an article today.
Yeah, I mean it's still
No
something
pun
though.
intended.
What do you mean, no pun intended?
Low bar. You know what I'm talking about? Low bar. He's a little big man. You know what I mean?
Oh, I don't think I get it.
But you got
Yeah, it's a
Erson, you
little
got you know what I mean?
tortured there.
You got Erson, you got Fedotov. I don't give a shit. He's a goalie. Fuck that guy. He's 7. Was he 7 foot tall?
Yeah, he's very
He's like 6'8".
tall.
He's
Come on,
he's
man.
a big dude.
If they could teach a bear to fucking juggle balls, they could teach a Russian to fucking play goalie.
Yeah.
No, I'm not mad about the Fedotov thing, though, right? Like, because they're not going to be competitive for a while. I would have liked for them to bring in a vet to
Yeah.
back up Erson, but I understand it. Like they said as much. We're going to keep rebuilding. We recognize we don't have the high end talent. We have some young players we want to develop. Let's see what we got in Erson. See what we got in Fedotov. I mean, it's not inconceivable that if he's really good, he's their goalie for the next, let's call it 5 years, right? Like,
Could happen.
I mean, I don't.
Depending on how some of these other guys, and Kolosov's going to be playing with the Phantoms next year, so we'll see how he develops. My fingers are crossed that he's going to eventually emerge as the guy.
He's what, like 20?
He's young, yeah. He's like
19, 20. He's really
yeah,
young.
he's probably like 20 or something like that.
We talked
yeah.
about him before.
Yeah, but he's got a lot of upside, athleticism. And he's young, so I think he could emerge as the top guy in a year or two, but we'll see. But in the meantime, I think it's fine to have this sort of, possibly mediocre, but maybe good goalie tandem in another rebuilding year. We'll see how it goes.
It's kind of just a lottery ticket while you figure things out.
Yeah, might suck, could be good. We'll
Yeah.
see.
You know what is not going to be good? This power play.
Oof, yeah.
Why did they bring him back?
I don't know.
Rocky Thompson.
I don't know if this is kind of yeah, I mean, it's weird because, the one thing is that he has been pretty good because he's generally the forwards coach, but he also does the power play.
Bring someone else in to do the
Right,
power
exactly.
play.
They
Why
could just
not?
bring someone else in, but I don't know if they just don't find it worth doing that, considering where they are with this whole rebuild thing, and you think maybe Torts only has 1 more year behind the bench, and then after that maybe they'll really revamp the whole coaching staff, and then it's just not worth it to try to I don't know. Apparently Briere might get involved in like
I saw that. Yeah.
I mean he was a good power play forward back in the day. He knows a thing or two about scoring goals in the power play, so maybe you can get on the ice there during practice. Why the hell not?
Yeah, I think I saw something that's like, we got John LeClaire. He's an
we got
advisor.
some
We
guy.
got Patrick Sharp.
Mhm.
It's like he was an quality NHL forward. It's like, so you're going to have these like front office advisory guys come down and try to like
Keith
teach
Jones, get him out
them how to run a power play. Like, what is this?
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of funny, but I mean, I guess it's just kind of hard to get too worked up about this kind of stuff when they are still rebuilding, because it's like, I don't know, maybe they figure it out, and if they don't, they'll lose more and get a better draft pick.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is like, you can have a good power play coach all you want, but like you don't have the high end talent to really.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the whole, I mean, between the goalie thing and keeping these coaches and stuff, it's sort of, you know, with where they are in the rebuild, I feel like the whole idea is, you know, low risk, high reward. If it doesn't work out, we'll figure this out when we actually need to be good. You know, once Mishkov comes over.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see what they end up doing. Risto, I guess Risto
got surgery.
He's going to be here yet.
Yeah.
He's like got a torn tricep or something.
I don't know why they waited until after the season to pull the trigger on surgery, but whatever.
So yeah,
seems like they could have done that a lot earlier.
Yeah, I mean, if they had done it early, maybe they can trade him in the off season. But you're not trading him when he's recovering from serious surgery like that.
Yeah.
So much for our trade chips. Lawton said he wants to be back.
Doesn't really mean anything. I mean, of course he does.
We'll see. But Sean Walker wanted to be here, and look what they did to my mains.
Yeah.
Where did we trade him to? The Predators?
Colorado.
Oh, he's on a good team.
Yeah.
I hope Sean Walker wins the Stanley Cup.
We could get to see Sean Walker raise the cup.
That'd be a classic Flyers move right there.
That great tradition of watching players that we traded away win the Stanley Cup.
When Timonen won it.
Yeah, and Carter and Richards, of course.
Simmons never won one when he left, did he?
No, he went to
the Predators, the Devils,
and he went to the cursed Leafs.
Toronto. Poor Simmons.
Yeah. Well,
he's the
at
one
least
that
he gets to enjoy
won.
retirement now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, should we go to...
Let's hit the Phillies. Yeah.
Phillies?
How are they doing right now?
Yeah, how are we looking here?
Survey says, yuck, 7-4.
Oof.
Oh, the game just ended.
All right, well.
Ass.
Boo.
Whatever. I mean, they had been hot. They've run into a bit of a buzzsaw in the Cincinnati Reds. I'm telling you, man, Cincinnati's
the greatest
all right.
town in America.
Yeah, but you know who did that shit, though? Fucking Ruben Amaro said they might never lose again.
He's
dude,
horrible.
Ruben Amaro.
Now they've lost 2 in a row.
He's
painful to listen to, man.
It's so insane how he went from the GM of the team,
to
like
the
the
Red
president
Sox
of baseball
first base
operations, to the Red Sox first base coach, to the Mets third base coach.
The Red Sox first base coach thing is so funny to me. I mean, it seems like, I mean, it's funny the idea that he had that much of a downgrade or whatever, but it's also just seems like it was such an asshole kind of move, because I'm sure there were so many coaches in the Red Sox system who would have killed for that job, and this guy just fuck up, just stumbles ass backwards into this job that he doesn't need.
Probably isn't even really that qualified for, to be honest.
He's not qualified at all.
Like you think that guy's telling people when to steal bases? Like, come on.
No, hell no.
That was so funny.
He kept, oh my God, last night's game, he's like, this guy's taking a major lead. He might steal. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
He's
like,
insufferable.
That's how you play, like when you're on first. Like, of course, you're going to take a big lead and try to get him off. Like, come on, man.
Did you know what it reminds me of whenever I listen to Ruben Amaro calling a game? It's like if you're, at a bar, like by yourself or maybe with one other person or whatever, and there's just some old guy sitting next to you.
Oh my God.
And he just keeps chirping about in your ear about everything, and he just like won't shut the fuck up.
That's exactly what it is.
And just keeps like, and you kind of just be like, yeah, sure, yeah.
20 years ago, this
trying your best to ignore him without being an asshole, but he just won't stop.
Like,
that's pretty much Ruben Amaro.
Tom is doing the Lord's work right now.
Yeah.
Tom's like, get me back home, please.
I get the feeling Tom a lot of times is just you at the bar while the old man just talking your ear off. Tom just like, oh, okay, Ruben.
Yep.
Brutal. It's absolutely fucking brutal.
Bring back Sarge.
Sarge was the man, dude. My favorite would be like when Sarge would do like the post-game interviews with players, and he'd just walk up to them and be like, so Worth. He wouldn't be like, oh, so Jason, how's your game? He'd just be like, so Worth, what'd you do? Like, I'm here with Worth. He would never say their first names. But Sarge was always a hoot, man. Whenever they have alumni weekend and he's in the booth, it takes me back. He's just... whenever someone hits a home run, he goes, Cadillac time. He's an OG,
Well,
man. I love
best,
Sarge.
The best is his one call where he's just like, and it jams him in there, and you got to jerk off the ball, and if it comes, it comes. Classic. Yeah, he rules.
Yeah, they should bring him back. Bring him and Chris Wheeler back.
Yeah.
Bring back Wheels.
The room's a bitch.
Yeah.
His ass.
John Kruk's great.
Kruk is amazing. I love John Kruk.
Ben Davis gets annoying as hell.
Yeah.
Is he still on the
every now
I
and
feel
then
like I don't see him on there that often.
They haven't really played he usually does road games and they haven't played that many.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he does the West Coast trip that they're about to go on.
Yeah, maybe. But anyway.
But 2 losses in a row, the Reds aren't a bad team. You got, a weird lineup really the last 2 games,
Yeah, Harper's having another baby.
Harper's out. You got Baum at first both games. You got, Dominguez and who they have out on the mound tonight? Sanchez.
Yeah, it was
Turnbull.
Turnbull. She pitched a good game.
Doing pretty well.
Yeah. So it is what it is. Like, I'm not mad about it. If I give up 2 losses away, no big deal. It sucks the way that you lost. You're up 3-1 when it comes down to the turn for the bullpen. But
yeah, Sir Anthony was butt.
Yeah.
But I mean,
but even with Turnbull though, now it's like you got Wheeler in the wing. Or Walker, I mean, I don't think he deserves a spot at all in that starting rotation.
Absolutely not.
They can't do it.
I don't like him.
There's no reason whatsoever to have Turnbull go down to a mid-round reliever and have Walker be a starting pitcher. There's no proof has been able to do that at all.
I mean, the one argument that I've seen to the contrary that I think is a little convincing is the fact that Turnbull has never pitched anywhere near the amount of innings that a starting pitcher pitches. So you keep him, kind of put him on ice a little bit, and then have a guy who is capable of coming in and starting really well.
At what velocity, though?
Really well.
Are we talking
about... I'm saying... No. I'm talking about if Turnbull has to come in, if a guy gets injured or whatever, you have like a guy in your bullpen who you can rely on to fill in a spot. As opposed to Walker. Yeah.
Right, coming in.
Okay, because I was going to say Walker ain't pitching well.
Yeah, but then...
but I'm saying, but at least like... There is something to be said for the fact that...
If Walker falters, then you have Turnbull to come on.
Right.
That's fair.
But what... I don't know if I agree with that, though, because what if you have that Walker come out and just shit the bed in the first 2 innings, or first inning, and then you have to have Turnbull come in there and save the day the whole time, and hope that the bats wake up, where you could have Turnbull come in there for the first 3 innings, or 4 innings, play a great game, the offense comes out, does well. Walker can give you an inning or 2 before you get to the, deeper relievers and the, closing pitchers, and you're good to go.
Well, I think part of it is they gave Walker that big contract.
Yeah.
Well, they fucked up.
So they have to give him every opportunity to prove he's worth it before they just say, yeah, you can't do this. My problem is...
I don't know if I agree with that.
He was down in the minors throwing 90. Like, he topped out at, 90 in his most recent rehab start. Granted, it's the minors. The adrenaline might not have really been pumping. But I don't...
Yeah.
I have a hard time expecting him to come back up here and just start throwing 94 again.
Even when the adrenaline was pumping, he was 94 in the first inning, but they went right down to 92, inning, he's 91. 90, yeah, it wasn't anything crazy. And then by then, they're teeing off.
Yeah, I just don't like him.
That's
just...
I'm definitely not excited for him joining the rotation or whatever.
Not when Turnbull's wheeling and dealing. I mean, he's out here playing his ass off.
I'm just saying, in the long run, it could be advantageous to have someone like Turnbull in the bullpen and not throw too many innings, so that you have a guy who isn't burned out by the end of the year. You could maybe use in the playoffs and this and that. You know what I mean?
The only thing I think that it's a positive is that it gives the bullpen, you right now you have Nola, Wheeler, Ranger, you have a good solid top 3. It doesn't hurt to have a little competitive juice in the bottom of the lineup, which is okay to have. So I'm all right with a little transitional, who wants the job more. Let them both play their ass off and see what happens. So I'm okay with a little... Yeah, you got to have some kind of shit in there. I mean, Dominguez is in there or whatever. I'm okay with
Dominguez that. Dominguez is, he's washed.
But, you put a little competition there, that goes a long way. We're lucky enough to have a top 3. The first 3 guys are...
I mean, really, the first 4, you could
pitchers.
throw Chris Sanchez in there. He's been dealing, too. He's been killing it.
But the fact that you have guys that can throw 7 innings almost of a no-no... damn near, that's not a bad spot to be in.
Yeah.
But I think that, what they say, pressure makes diamonds, whatever the fuck that shit is.
Yeah, I think it's something like that, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's good. I just don't think Walker deserves a walk into being a starting pitcher. He should go in there as a mid-round reliever, get that velocity up, and then earn his spot back up there. Because Turnbull's been real on the deal. He's been doing his job.
Yeah, I'm just ready for Walker to come out in his first start, throw 3 innings, top out at like 91 miles per hour,
2 homers,
get shelled, and just have to come out. And then it's like, yeah, this should have been Turnbull the whole time.
Yeah.
But, whatever, man. I mean, the pitching's been stellar. This was before today's game. The Phillies are first in the NL in ERA at 3.33, first in strikeouts at 2.31, first in WHIP at 1.15, and first in batting average at 2.16. So you're going to mess with a good thing you have going, bring this guy in. I guarantee you, if I read these same stats in 2 weeks, they're all going to be way higher because of this guy.
We'll be in the 5th spot instead of the 1st.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I don't know why I don't like Taijuan Walker.
It's a shame that they couldn't have put Walker in before the White Sox series to have 2 shitty ass like 3. You play Pittsburgh.
Yeah, get his innings in his rotation spot and have him warm up against those teams.
Yeah,
instead he's gonna face the Padres.
Right, which is gonna be
Machado's gonna hit 2 dingers off him.
Yeah,
you can call it. I'm calling it.
But the bats though are awake. They're good to go. I mean, Castellanos still can't hit the fucking broadside of a barn, but everybody else is playing phenomenal.
Yeah, Rojas is waking up.
Yeah. Rojas is looking good. Trey Turner's been killing it. Schwarber's been hot. Bryce Harper was getting warmer before he went off on paternity leave. Bomb been
he's been killing it.
JT too. They've all been doing their thing.
Yeah, offensively they're starting to climb up the rankings. They're still pretty low in a lot of the stats, so I didn't include them.
I saw a crazy ass thing though too for Swamp Man. With Brandon Marsh, his biggest thing from his first year with Cincinnati to now, with our batting coach, his first year and his years with Cincinnati was that he would pick up his front leg the whole time. When a ball would come in, he'd pick that front leg up and then swing.
Yeah.
Now, that's planned the whole time.
I mean, it makes sense. His swing was probably way longer before. Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
It's just amazing what this guy can do. Shout out to the batting coach for the Phillies. If we could figure out Castellanos, we'd be good to go.
Yeah, that'd be great.
But Marsh, for being only 24, 25.
He might be like 25 now. He's still young.
I didn't realize he was that young. Yeah,
he's still young. Yeah, he looks old.
Yeah.
I did want to bring up one thing going back to the starting rotation. So I remember our episode right before the season started, I remember Pat said something that at the time I thought was a little wild, but I'm gonna play this clip and yeah.
I'm really excited to see Ranger this year where he's healthy and not, nursing that arm, because I think he could be I think he's
gonna be our second best pitcher.
I think he's a potential for a Cy Young out of the NL if he stays healthy and can produce, to be honest with you.
And right now, if this fucking loads, I believe he is now 8th in the odds for the Cy Young Award.
Dude, you might have called that one.
Yeah. I mean, long way to go, but that's a lot better than I thought he was ever going to be. He's, what's he at, like 27 consecutive scoreless innings or something like that?
His ERA is like 123 or 173. I forget.
Yeah.
It's
I think
microscopic.
It's 123, yeah.
Yeah. But, I was looking at the Cy Young odds, and right now, at least on DraftKings, I don't know if this is everywhere, but Zach Wheeler is number 1. Aaron Nola is right behind Ranger at number 9. So we have 3 of our starters in the top 10 in Cy Young odds right now.
I said Ranger would be our second best pitcher.
Very early for talking about Cy Young, but yeah, I mean, dude's been good.
Not good. I mean, he's been, and again, this is all early in the year. He's been luckily playing against, he's a third pitcher then in the rotation, playing against, they're changing up things, this and that, but 27 consecutive innings of...
I mean, that's against even bad teams. That's really impressive.
It's insane what he's been able to do. I mean, he had a whole 112 pitches, hit his career high in pitch total.
And then the next game, he could have pitched a complete game if they let him, but they just decided not to, which I get. You don't see guys throw that many innings like that anymore.
Yeah.
Appreciate that callback, you know what I mean? But I think we all been saying that, we all saw the report at the beginning of the year where, like, we had the best bullpen in the whole MLB. We were like, well, let's take it with a grain of salt. But they have been playing the top 3 have been playing like the top 30 rotation in MLB between Nola, Wheeler,
I
and
think
Ranger.
they've been the best.
They've been killing it. You know, you have a little slide off with everybody else beyond that, but they've been lights out.
Yeah. I mean, they've been every bit as good as the famed 2011 rotation.
Yeah. I
which
mean,
is
even
wild.
Wheeler had an 8-inning no-no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Turnbull had a no-no going into
Yep.
the 7th or the start before this one. Like, Nola could have pitched a complete game on
Ranger,
Sunday if they
9-inning
let him.
shutout,
Yeah.
112 pitches. Still great velocity. I mean, they got, like I said, his health last year, he could have had that last year, but this year I think Ranger, I don't think he gets the whole national credit like Wheeler does. I think people know Wheeler from a broader perspective and they get it. But Ranger's a dark horse for being just a phenomenal pitcher without any credit for some reason on a larger scale. Almost like Embiid pre...
It's Rangers the maxi to
yeah, in a way.
Wheeler's Embiid, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
He does all the dirty work. He plays against Wheeler plays against like the fresh start of the series, and they expect the other team to go hot. But a third game, they're like, well, it's Ranger against whatever. But he's not for nothing. He's cooking people.
Yeah. If there was a most improved player in baseball, it'd be Ranger. We forgot to shout out Maxey for winning most improved in the NBA. But, I mean, we'll talk plenty of Sixers probably next week, too.
I will say, though, I do love that he was in his bed watching Game of Thrones, Season 3, The Red Wedding. That has a potential...
That's an omen.
That's a potential, what's it called? When you
Premonition or...
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Foreshadowing.
You know, maybe we just slit the throats of all the Knicks and they just can't play the game because we just killed their ass.
Just call them for murder of all the Knicks players. Okay.
Just
on the court, not in real life.
Okay.
Just do some Galooly shit.
Unless they're at the Hilton at the Hyatt in 13th and Walnut. No, I'm kidding. I'm just playing. Okay.
Yo, they're probably staying in Center City. You gotta go find that
They're
hotel.
probably the fucking Ritz, yeah.
You gotta go find that
You go
hotel
pull
and
the
start
fire
causing a
alarm at 3
ruckus.
a.m.
They're too tall for me to kill it. You know what I mean? I can't reach that high.
Just
Sure.
get some bad pizza sent
But-
over there.
It's a cool little, like...
Send them some Virginias.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just fucking shitting their pizza.
They actually got better now with the 3 countries, but yeah.
Good old Virginia's. Virginia's was ass, dude. Nothing like some mediocre South Philly late night eats that you can get till 4 a.m.
You gotta do it sometimes.
Yeah, speaking of getting late night South Philly eats at 4 a.m., were you at my house the one time when we ordered Prima Pizza at like 3:30 and Dave thought they could deliver weed?
Yeah, we was like, can I get some extra salsa verde, if you know what I'm talking about?
So funny.
The green sauce.
we were at Wolf House and we order a bunch of like tacos.
I don't remember that.
And then like at the very end of like the order, Dave's like, "Oh wait, do you guys have weed?" They're like, "No, we don't have that." It's like, "Oh, okay, thanks." But like that was a rumor at one point. It's like, yeah, if you ask them, they might deliver you
a
weed.
place that's open that late, you'd think that maybe they're into some stuff.
But I like how Dave just threw it in there at the end of the order. It's like,
Oh, a shot.
do you have weed?
Yeah. Worst they can say is no.
Damn.
Yeah, I wonder if 3 countries, or I'm sorry, not 3 countries, Avenue Steaks, they probably don't. They're a legitimate business.
They're open till 3.
Yeah, they're open like 24/7 pretty much.
Damn, get them rose petals of it and fucking onion petals. Mm.
Yeah, Avenue Steaks is
Avenue
alright.
Steaks is nice. I like them.
Avenue Steaks or Oregon Steaks?
Avenue.
Depends on, for cheesesteaks, I like Oregon. The
Okay.
I think I love
Avenue has more variety.
Avenue has more other things. Like they have a really great. I've gotten a few times. They have like a Chipotle chicken cheesesteak that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, but you can taste
I'm not
that in all
crazy.
the cheesesteaks, so.
I think their cheesesteak is a little. They put like too much cheese. Like there's always just like a gob of cheese at the bottom. You know what I mean? I think the classic cheesesteak. I think Oregon does a better job. But if I want anything like pizza, obviously, or other kind of sandwiches, I'd go with Avenue.
Okay, that's fair. All right, yeah, I just had to throw that in there. I was just curious.
Some food tips for the listeners. Some late night, Just
don't call.
Speaking of making your picks, then I guess we got
the
nothing but
birds.
the birds left here. Yeah.
Who will be
It's like, what's
the
the
special football boy to join the Eagles?
what's the jingle for the NFL draft? I always confuse it with the NBA draft.
It's a good ding. It's like ding. What's it?
Ding, ding, ding. That's the NBA, right?
No.
One of
Do it
them's
again,
ding,
do it
ding,
again.
ding, ding, ding,
Ding,
ding,
ding.
ding. Which
I
one's
think
That's
that?
the
That's
NFL.
the
That's the
NBA.
NFL. That's the NFL.
No, I think
Do it
that's
again.
the NBA.
No. Time out. Do it
Ding,
again.
ding, 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 ding.
That's NFL
I
draft.
think that's the NBA.
No, it's not.
I'm
Look it
pretty
up right now.
sure.
I bet you
Alright.
Yeah,
$20
you gotta
to
play
sell
it.
Navy right now. He
You
just
gotta
hit that
play
shit.
it.
Do it again real quick.
Ding, 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 ding.
I'm almost certain
And
that's
then fucking
NBA.
bitch ass, whatever comes up there.
With the
With the
first
30th
pick
pick. Yeah.
of the NFL draft,
Avery nailed it right
the Chicago
there.
Bears select Caleb Williams from
Yeah.
USC.
Da-da-da. Yeah, you nailed that shit in a heart. Yeah.
For some reason, well, then what's the NBA?
That is the NBA.
No, it's not. Look up the
Then
NFL.
what, if
Let's
that's
look
the
up
NBA,
NBA.
then
No,
what's
no.
the
Look
NFL?
up the
Draft.
NFL first because he hit the NFL one
Sound.
first. Do the NFL sound first.
Yeah, let's see what this is. Okay, this is 5
He nailed
seconds.
it.
This should be it. Oh, fuck.
Told you,
Oh,
dickhead.
hell yeah.
All right, now I gotta look up.
So
now I
what's
gotta
the
look up-
NBA?
Now I gotta look up the NBA one.
I couldn't tell you.
Are they the same?
No
Maybe
way.
they are.
Because they're both on ESPN. They're probably the same.
They may be the same.
I
Let's
don't
see,
think
what is-
so. It
what
doesn't have
is
that
this?
same. It doesn't have that same feel to it though.
It's the same.
Oh,
Oh, that's boring. They got to get a different
Damn,
one.
yeah, they gotta get a new.
that's fucking lame.
Yeah, they gotta.
I will say that
mix
the
it up a
NFL though
little bit.
hits different though than the NBA, even though it's the same sound.
The
I don't know
NFL
why.
draft. I think we've talked
we've
about
had
this
this
before. We ranked the
conversation.
draft. I think the
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 NFL just hits
NFL's
down. But I
the
think
NBA just all gets spoiled in advance, and they don't announce the trades as they're happening.
Yeah,
There's only-
they need to fix that
there's
part
only
of it.
3 important picks that
Like
could
it's the
ever happen.
dumbest. Like we've talked about this before, but it's the dumbest thing ever when like you know that a pick already got traded and the guy's up there with the hat
Like
of the team that
Mikal
you know he's
Bridges,
not
yep.
playing for.
Yeah.
That
Well,
was
at least the
what
Mikal
happened.
Bridges thing happened after he got picked. But
It's
I'm
also
pretty sure-
five-
I guess so.
Yeah, but
The
some
big-
of them like they trade the picks beforehand. Like it gets reported, and they still go through the whole song and dance.
So I
of,
wonder
like,
why that is. It's stupid.
Yeah.
The big thing is though with that is that you have either a 5 men or 11, really 22 men, when it comes down to it. So like a pick could be way more vast.
Well, like, here's
in the
the thing.
NFL than of course NBA. You only got 5.
The NFL draft is so damn long. It's 3 days.
Even by
I don't got time to watch the NFL draft on
Yeah.
Saturday. I don't
Well, it's
watch
like
Yeah,
you
but you
really
only
only
have-
gotta
4,
watch.
5, and
Yeah, but
I
you
feel
are-
like the first round is the must see TV aspect of it, and after that, it's like I'll just check Twitter and see
Right.
what they
second
pick.
and third round are pretty good too.
Yeah,
but,
second you could have some trades and stuff, but
the third day, it's just like, why?
yeah, I'm not.
not watching that. Oh, this is
I'll read the recap later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but hey, I mean, the
20
NFL draft.
22nd pick right now. Tomorrow.
22.
You think we're
Do they
trading
move
up?
up? Do we think we sit?
It seems like everything you're hearing indicates they're going to trade up.
Yeah, here's the deal: is Diana Rossini for the Athletic? She was saying earlier today, be ready for Houdini Howie. A league source said the Eagles have called to move up from number 22.
Oh, when you first said that, I thought like, what, there's a player named Houdini Howie.
Signed.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, he's a cornerback from Harvard.
Dude, that'd
Yeah.
be great.
He's an even whiter quarterback than Cooper DeJean.
Yeah.
He just intercepts the ball. He just
yeah.
waves his wand. The ball disappears and ends up in
He's
his hands. And
he's
he's in
also
the end
Howie's
zone.
assistant.
He's
What the fuck?
He's a white
Yeah.
cornerback that wears rec specs.
Yeah.
But apparently, according to her, Howie's on the hunt for a cornerback.
That's
Yeah.
yeah.
Which would be, yeah.
interesting.
That's yeah. Corner, right?
Yeah, corner. Yeah, not
Yeah,
quarter.
Not quarter.
Well,
Could you imagine if they drafted a quarterback?
in the top 50,
Quarterback factory,
no,
baby.
I would kill myself.
Yeah, no.
I think that, like we said last week, if they move up, it should only be for 2 picks, a corner or a OT.
Yeah.
That's it. There's no fucking. I keep hearing shit about Brock Bowers.
Nah, man.
I'm not into that at
Mm-mm.
all.
Nope.
At
A little
all.
too high risk, I think.
If he's at
Because you're gonna have to move up to like 12 or some shit. They haven't going around 10, right? Like,
it was just also too high for a tight end. To be honest with you, anybody picking a tight end in the top 10 or 15,
I mean, look at
they
Kyle.
ain't right.
Look at Kyle Pitts, like we said last week.
They ain't
Look how
fucking
that's
right.
worked out.
They ain't fucking right.
yeah, he could be a little better with our boy Kirk Cousins, but yeah, I don't know.
But Atlanta might even pick a quarterback. Apparently,
Yeah, I saw that.
I mean,
rumor
they're gonna
today.
have to. Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
can't
Kirk
have
Cousins is coming
forever.
off an Achilles.
Yeah, and he's old.
you know, And they got a 45-year-old backup, whatever the fuck the guy is. Desmond Ritter, whatever the fuck his bitch ass is. But either way, I don't know. There's no other pick that we need besides corner and offensive line that would make sense to jump up that high, unless OTs or offensive guards drop to at least like 18, maybe 20, and you want to jump up that far, that's fine.
Well,
but other than that, I'm sitting tight at 22, baby. There's no reason to do that. Unless, with Denver picking at 12, you get Justin Simmons.
Or no, well, Surtain's the one. Surtain's the one you want from Denver. Patrick Surtain, that's the guy you want.
No, it's going to be Simmons.
Simmons, isn't he a free agent? They brought him back on the cheap.
He's their safe? No.
Wasn't he a free agent? Justin Simmons, he was a free agent.
Yeah, but that's good. He's with Denver. Yeah,
no, Surtain's the one that's signed, and he's 23. He's like a top 3 corner in the league.
Mm.
If they say, like, we'll give you him, and, like, you give us your first and your seconds.
50th. Not both. Only one.
It's probably gonna take that
Just
to move up to 12 and to get him. It's gonna take both of those.
Oh yeah, that's gonna cost a lot.
What I was thinking with him anyway is like, you've seen some of these vets get traded for less, like Brian Burns. What he went for, like a 5th in something else, right? So like, what if you can trade a 2nd, a 4th? And I don't know, maybe that's all it takes to get Surtain. Maybe. I don't know. It probably takes more than that. But, like, what if Denver's desperate? They're like, yeah, this guy doesn't fit in our future.
They're not desperate. They're just in the sell mode. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. They're in the sell mode.
Sean Payton is on some bullshit. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Ready to tank this team right now.
And that Surtain was a Vic Fangio guy when he was in Colorado, in Denver. So he's, like, as far as veteran trades go, like last year we had DeAndre Swift, 2 years ago we had A.J. Brown. Surtain's the one I'm going to keep an eye on. Like, you might have to throw a player into that deal too, but you throw a player, let's say it takes
Eli Ricks.
Let's say it takes Eli Ricks.
A 2nd and a 1st? We have to get something else beyond just the 1st round pick to get. Howie won't just do a 1-for-1 first
Surtain's
round.
Basically a college-age player. He's 23. He's got
but Howie won't
10 years of his prime.
Howie won't just do a pick for all that. He'll get a 6th round pick or a 7th round pick, whatever it may be, either next year or this year. He won't just do we'll get one player, you get a player and 2 picks. He won't do it.
I don't know. I don't know what the asking price is going to be. It could be lower because, as we've seen, vets get traded for a little less than they usually do. Could be high because he's only 23.
I also don't think that, I don't know. Something tells me that it's going to be just a plain old offensive lineman pick, which is fine.
So you think they're moving up for that?
Up to 20, if anything. Nothing crazy.
I can see them moving up like a couple spots.
Nothing crazy. There's no need to. I mean, your offensive weapons are pretty much stacked. Your defense is okay. But unless you do a crazy thing with Denver or anything like that, I don't see the need to break the bank or go crazy in draft capital to get anybody else beyond that. Your offensive weapons are stacked. You're good to go for that. Your defense is okay. I think you need an O lineman. If you can get up to 20 or maybe 19 or 18.
Well, here's the thing that Adam Schefter was saying on the Fanatic this morning. He was saying that Seattle loves to trade back. They're at, I think, 16. I can't read if this is a 6 or an 8 that I wrote down. But either way, like, Seattle loves to trade back. The Eagles have done deals with Seattle in the past.
Yeah.
So he's saying, I would keep an eye on the Eagles trading with Seattle to move up for their pick. And then, like, he thinks that they're taking an O lineman.
Seattle or us?
The Eagles are going to take an O lineman with that pick, which I would be in favor of.
Well, you go up to them, you could get potentially, I mean, you figure the top 2 linemen right now are going to be the guy from Penn State and the guy from Oregon State.
Which they might be gone by then.
But then you also got the guy from Washington.
That's who I like. I wrote his name down. Fontenot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like him. He gives you guard, tackle, versatility. He could play guard this year.
Penny Sewell has a brother in the NFL draft as well right now.
And Penny Sewell just got paid.
Right. I mean, so you have...
I saw that.
I mean, it's going to be, like I said...
Also, Amon-Ra St. Brown just got pay. Like that's
He
why
is a baller, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
great.
better. He's better than Devontae.
Probably,
like, no
yeah,
disrespect to Devontae. He's better.
But still, like that's why you get ahead of that. Anyway,
That's what
Sorry,
Howie does.
Real.
No, Howie predicts the market usually. I mean, he did it with Jalen Hurts too. You know, it happens. But I think that
Probably did it with Jake Elliott.
yeah. Well,
He probably did. I'm not even saying that facetiously. He
And
probably
Dallas
did.
tried this at the market with their long snapper deal, but we'll see what happens.
The
with
Dallas
that.
is in shambles.
But I think that from an O lineman perspective, that what were you saying before that?
Oh, I was saying that I think they're going to get Fontenot because he gives them guard, tackle versatility. And, like, you would have to move up for him for a little bit, but that's your guard for next year, and that's your tackle for whenever Lane retires. You're sitting pretty.
Yeah, at 18 or 19, I'm okay with that. You know, you move up, get a little O lineman. I think that's what is going to happen this year. There's no sexy pick. It's going to be the highest rated offensive pick, like draft pick in the first round in the last 15 years. It's going to be the most offensive lineman drafted in the last 8 or 9 years. So, if you can get one of those top guys in an 18th or 19th pick, go for it. You're going to lose Lane Johnson next year or so.
Yeah.
Even if he's healthy. If he's not healthy, you might lose him quicker than that.
He's going to miss a few games.
Yeah.
It's almost guaranteed, right?
And we don't trust Steen. And even if a guy sits for a year behind a healthy O-line, you got a guy that could be a top 3 or 4 O-lineman in the draft, learning behind Stoutland, Lane Johnson. Kelsey will be around. Malata. I mean, you're going to talk about a room to learn from.
Yeah.
I think it's all right. I think the biggest tell in this draft will be second round of what they do at linebacker. And I still have out there, potentially, Micah Parsons first round. But
I mean, the Cowboys are a
You
mess.
had your back
I
pocket.
saw something that
Yeah.
Jerry Jones said. He was like, yeah, we're going to bring back Dak, but he's not going to have that many weapons. He's going to have to prove himself. It's like, what the hell? Like, why would you challenge your
Was
franchise
this
quarterback?
Jerry Jones or the Jerry Jones hologram that we talked about before?
he might move up to
You
get Brock.
might be the one really pulling the strings at this point.
If anyone needs Brock Bowers, it's Dallas because they got one receiver, they got no running backs. Their O line is either decrepit
their
or
O-line's,
retiring.
yeah, their O-line's not that good anymore.
Their defense is they got one linebacker. The defensive line, 4 linemen walked this year.
Yeah.
They're fucked.
Oh yeah, fuck Dallas.
And even what's it called? It's gone too. There's Gilmore's out.
That's Stephon Gilmore left.
Yeah.
They only had him for a season.
What,
They didn't repay
he
him.
retire?
No, they didn't pay him. They didn't repay him.
He's
I think he's still a free agent.
I don't know what they're doing there.
yeah.
Whatever.
Jerry World.
They're about to be the new fucking New York Giants, but with a guy that I don't know. It's a fucked up team, but I love it.
The Giants figure to get better.
Oh my fucking goddamn leg fell asleep.
Yo, so do you think there's any chance the Eagles stay at 22?
Big time. I think it
If they
depends on how the
do-
top 4. If Wiggins is, I mean, you figure our biggest need as of right now is going to be cornerback because you don't know what you got in Eli Ricks or anybody like that. You got
You got
play
Rodgers.
slay.
You have two aging veterans
Right.
and a bunch of kind of
And-
unknowns. Could be good, but we don't know.
And Rodgers was a top 5 in man coverage in 2022 and a top 6 in zone coverage in 2022.
Yeah, we didn't even mention our boy
Took a
got
year off.
Yeah,
reinstated.
he's back, dude.
Yeah, and that's great. Could be a big.
It was kind of concerning for a second there because a few days ago they reinstated a bunch of other guys that were suspended, but his name wasn't there, and it was like,
Yeah.
are they not letting him back? But then today it
It's
came
like,
out today.
is he on some Jonte Porter type
yeah,
stuff?
it was like, what did this guy do? No, but he is back, so he'll be competing for a starting job opposite Slay.
But you got Toledo, you got Cooper DeJean, you got Cooley McKinsley, and you got Wiggins. So if they see the draft falling in a certain way where either Cooper DeJean or Cooley McKinsley are there at 20 or 19 or 18, and Seattle wants to make a move, Seattle's going to need a quarterback. Their secondary is sold. They're good to go. They don't need that pick. So we could swap with them knowing that if they need an offensive lineman and they can get their guy from whatever they need.
Maybe they want Fontenot. He's from Washington.
And that's fine.
Right,
They can make a swap at 20 and be like 22, be like, all right, we can make a deal with that. No big deal. We'll make that swap up to get Cooper DeJean or Cooley McKinsley. Toledo guy, I can't remember his name.
Quinyon Mitchell.
Mitchell. He'll be gone probably before 18 or 19. But I think that the only way they move up is for a top, I guess, 5 O-lineman or a top 3 cornerback.
Yeah.
But if they're okay with settling,
I mean, they could
the
settle
draft
and stay
falls-
at 22 and get DeGene, which
just
I'd be
depends
cool
on
with.
how
yeah.
things
Depends on how
roll.
much he slips. I mean, I have no fucking idea what's gonna happen, but my like gut feeling is that I think Cooper DeGene's gonna start slipping a little bit, and Howie's gonna get anxious. He's gonna move up a couple spots to get him.
and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm cool with that. Then you got a white safety and a white cornerback. It's the whitest secondary in the history of the NFL.
Well, because also I think that he can probably fill in at safety as well, and you figure you have Sidney Brown out. You know,
Yeah, they
don't
said
really
that
have
about
any.
him.
They don't have a
Yeah.
lot of like long term solid options there at safety. It's still been kind of a need. So
And
I
then
think
you get-
it'd be good that they kind of ease him in at safety, and then eventually maybe he takes over as a
And
starting
then you
corner.
get at 53, Jeremiah Trotter Jr.
Oh yeah, are we gonna?
They're not taking him at 53. Are you serious? You know where he's projected to go?
I'm going to trade up for him. I'm going to trade up 50 and 53 to get the 32nd pick in the first
You're a
round.
lie. You
and
lie
get
like a
Jeremiah
rug, dude.
Trotter Jr.
Nah.
No, I'm kidding.
Yo, you know where he's projected to go?
Probably 4th round.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
They're not
know.
going to take him
100
53.
something?
They might, though.
You're smoking bad dope. You really are drunk right now. Nah, but like with him, if he falls like beyond the 4th round, like say he's there in the 5th round, yeah, why not take him?
Yeah.
But I just can't
In
figure
the 3rd
like
round?
I don't even think we have a 3rd round pick. We'd have to trade back into
We'll
the
get
3rd
Howie
round.
does. We'll have
But
a
I'm
3rd
not-
round pick.
Oh, we're gonna have one.
Yeah.
I'm not trading
we'll have
into
one.
the 3rd round to draft him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Did you look at his measurables? You know
Well-
who he reminds me of?
What kind of measure are we talking?
Yeah.
Oh. Not those types of measures. Y'all dirty. Y'all dirty. You know who he reminds me of? He's like the same size as your boy. My boy.
Don't
Sean
say
Walker?
N'Kobe Dean. They're like the same size.
Yeah,
dude.
but his stats are better.
He's playing on a worse defense. N'Kobe Dean was on a stacked D. Not saying Clemson's a bad D, but
Yeah,
it's
Jeremiah Trotter Jr. had more sacks and tackles than N'Kobe Dean did with less games.
I'm not trying to hear that, man.
But no, you don't have to try to. I'm telling you what happened.
Nah, I can't get there with him. Not in the 3rd
It's
round. Not in the 4th round.
It's just stats. He said, "Nah, I can't do it."
Nah, I mean they're stats, but like
I just can't with these
I
numbers.
mean even like his like combine results, they're the exact same as N'Kobe Dean's.
No, N'Kobe Dean beat his ass out for that.
They're about the same.
There's
Like I
a
looked
stat
them up.
range of like 0 to 10 right now, right? 10 being fucking, I don't know, Hall of Fame level,
So
whatever.
here's the deal.
7 being...
That
yeah.
is N'Kobe Dean 6.4. That's Trotter 6.29. They're the same player.
That's a big difference, we'll say, in the
It's-
draft number. It is.
What's that number mean?
It's
It means stat.
so
it means
N'Kobe Dean
starting-wise.
was a 6.4. It
Is that
said,
like WAR? But for,
so it's the
it's-
prospect rate.
It's
It says
starter
Oh,
ability.
okay.
One's being like, hey, 6.4 close
The
to 7.
star-o-meter.
You're like instant starter if you're a 7. You're like,
this
damn,
says
good start out of
6.4 will
college.
become good starter within 2 years. 6.29 will eventually be average starter.
sounds like some nerd shit. To
So
me.
Trotter Jr. is the 6.29.
Yeah, but his stats, though,
I don't
it
care.
doesn't- it's because he was on a
I'm going
championship
by the
team.
scouting and the projections.
And what did N'Kobe Dean do?
He's been bad.
Right. Well, look at fucking. You know what? I don't hear this blasphemy. You know what I mean? From
Man,
this guy.
you just like him because he's related
Yeah,
to
if he
Jeremiah
wasn't, if
Trotter.
he
No.
wasn't,
That has
if
something
he
to do
was
with.
just a guy, would
honestly-
you even think about him?
I honestly didn't even know his dad was Jeremiah Trotter.
Get
to be
the
honest
hell
with you.
outta
I had
here.
no
Well, that was
clue.
a different
I
Trotter.
had no clue. I had no clue.
You really are drunk. You're up here lying
It's
in
a real,
front of the people.
As we all know, it's one of the most common names in
Yeah,
America.
it is,
Trotter, yeah. There's you hear him all
Jeremiah
the-
Trotter. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. Gee, that sounds
Yeah,
familiar.
it must have
I had
been.
no clue.
He must
I
have
know.
had. You thought he had a different dad named Jeremiah Trotter.
Yeah.
He's a different guy completely.
Oh,
But
okay.
I think we pick him up eventually if he's there. At, like,
I'm
a
not
later
taking
round
him.
pick.
I would take him in the 5th round.
You know who I want though? That cat from was it Northern Illinois in the 2nd round, linebacker
Oh,
More than Illinois.
Patrick. Not
I've
Willis.
read about a bunch of these linebackers.
His name's Patrick.
I don't think I know.
What's the
about this one.
mascot with the fucking wolf with the hat?
The wolf with the hat.
It's like Northern Illinois or Northern
I don't
Iowa
know.
State.
I
or
don't
some
pay
shit
attention
like
to this
that.
Let me look
college shit.
Anyway, but he's a good linebacker. We could probably grab him in the second round.
Yeah, there are a bunch of good linebackers.
Adrian Smith or some shit like
Cooper.
that.
Edrin Cooper. Yeah, that's who. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's him. There's this guy, something Colson. He was a Michigan
Edrin
linebacker.
Cooper is related to Amari Cooper.
Oh, for real? That'd
Nah,
be
I
good.
was playing.
Oh, okay.
I was
That's
playing.
a more common name.
Yeah.
But there's
Probably Trotter.
something Colson. I forget what this guy's name is. He's pretty good. He's kind of like a younger Devin White.
It depends on how this draft. This is, I will say, in the last probably 3 or 4 years, a very intriguing draft because I will say the quarterback pool is probably more subpar than people are giving it. Like people
hype up these quarterbacks.
People are over crediting these
Yeah.
quarterbacks. I think Caleb Williamson is going to be fucking ass. I think Drake. I mean, all these guys are going to be pretty. But I'm not gonna lie, it reminds me of the draft that they
It's like
drafted
when
fucking
they-
Sam Darnoldson and all these guys. And
It's
all
like
that.
Bryce Young.
You've
Yeah.
added, wait,
Bryce Young was.
You
butt,
added
dude.
you added son to like 2 different names there. You said Caleb Williamson, and then you said Sam Darnoldson.
What's his name? What's his name? Sam
Sam
Darnold.
Darnold. It's just Sam
Oh,
Darnold.
whatever, man.
And
He's the
Caleb
son of
Williams-
somebody. Yeah. What the fuck?
I was
my
gonna
son.
let the one slide, but then you did it again.
He's the son of somebody. That is
Yeah,
true.
he's
the son of
Someone's son.
Yeah, man. What the fuck?
He's a Darnold son. That
Yeah.
works.
Yeah.
He's a Williams son.
Jalen Hurtson,
He's been hurting. Anyway,
Nick
all I'm
Folsom,
saying is that
Nick Folsom Prison, Nick Folsom Prison Blues,
Big Dixon.
Big Dick
Son.
Nick Folsom Prison Blues. That's like one of those Jeopardy things.
What?
You know where they had like the 2 where they have like what was that category called where they had like kind of match the.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about?
they had like make it a riddle, but then you have
where
to like
where
name
it
it.
kind of connect, where it's like 2 phrases that kind of connect in the middle, and
It's like a riddle that they have to like name it in the middle.
yeah, it's like I don't
Either
know.
way, all
people
I'm
that
saying
watch
is that
Jeopardy
I think this
listen to what
quarterback
I'm
draft
talking
though
about.
is pretty fucking
Oh,
ass.
it is butt. Like they
Yeah.
hyped the one up last year. Bryce Young was butt. What do you call it? Was pretty good. The Texans guy. Why can't I remember his name? The guy the Texans drafted.
Stroudson.
Yeah, Stroud.
Okay.
Nah, he was good. He was really good.
CJ Stroud killed it.
CJ
yeah.
Stroudson.
Yeah, Bryce Young was butt. Who's the other? Oh, Mayonnaise. Will
Oh,
Levis.
Will
God.
He was okay.
Yeah, but he killed it though for that one game.
He had that
Fucking
one
help-
game.
He had a couple
Man,
decent
yeah,
games
against
there,
me,
but
I think that
D-Hop
shit
went
happened.
off.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
that was wait. What happened with that? You beat my ass when you had fucking. I just traded you someone else, and D Hop went fucking berserk.
Yeah,
for
you
no
traded.
reason.
I forget who you traded me.
That was brutal.
Gus Edwards, it might have been.
Yeah, I was so pissed. But yeah, man, game's a game.
Yeah, we got.
I think tomorrow's gonna be a crapshoot, just like that Sixers game. It could be, but I don't even know.
Yeah. But I just got one question for you guys.
You have fire in your gut? Who took the bus?
Fuck.
I'll have that fire in my gut tomorrow if the Sixers
Cardinals,
win.
big draft tomorrow.
If the Sixers
Who
win, I'll have.
drove over here?
Thank God it's Friday tomorrow. To be honest,
Tomorrow's Thursday.
yeah. Well,
tomorrow's
in
Thursday.
my head,
This has
The
been
day after tomorrow's Friday. I have that fire in my gut if the Sixers win tomorrow and the Eagles have a good draft.
yeah.
Going to be 2 or 3 shots of bananas down
Friday
the
better
gully.
buckle up for work, because I'll be fucking hammered.
Yeah, so hopefully, Sixers win tomorrow, then we'll have a game to care about on Sunday.
On the Lord's Day, I'll have to go to church then.
Yeah, I gotta
You're
go
gonna be saying
and
your prayers.
pray for Embiid's knees and
I'm
his,
telling you,
his
he's like the
weird eye.
It's like the mountain in Game of Thrones. He's like a zombie, but he's still putting up 35 plus points. I mean, he's playing his ass off. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
in the
you can't take
playoffs.
anything away from him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Against a very tough
Yeah, they're wearing his
Knicks.
back.
Yeah, they're hitting him up left and right. I mean, they have a great 1-2 punch too with Hartenstein and fucking Mitchell.
Yeah, Robinson,
Yeah.
he's an offensive rebounding machine.
They've been bodying and beat up the whole time, and Embiid's been taking it, except for
I
game
mean,
one.
between Hartenstein's son and Vincenzo's
Mitchell's
son
son.
and Mitchell's son and Brunson's
son.
But yeah, Brunson's son.
Brunson's son.
Yeah, man.
McBrideson.
McBride, yeah.
Say no jokes,
Fucking,
son.
yeah. Well, I think that's just about to do it for us. Yeah, this is getting too unhinged. I think that's just about to do it for us here tonight, everybody.
Son.
Tonight, son. Please leave us a 5-star rating and review wherever you get a podcast. Give us a subscribe on YouTube. Follow on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. What did I forget? Oh, send us an email at citywidepod@gmail.com. And from all of us here at the Citywide, good morning, good afternoon, good night.
Peace.
See you, son.